And I need you to know that I am obligated to put Ari in everything that I create on the internet in some form or another. Thank you. Oh, and blood swearing and gay sex incoming. Okay, now that we took that out of the way, let's talk about superheroes. These days Marvel is killing in this segment. I mean, yeah, we all love the Marvel movies, we all praise the mouse and all that, but I can't seem to get this feeling off my chest that for the past 10 years Marvel has been like this strict Christian father with whom everything must be safe and politically correct, and you shall wash your hands before dinner, go to sleep at 9 and go to church every Friday, or so help me God. But sometimes, you know, we just want to go and spend the weekend with our alcoholic uncle who can't seem to get his life together, and it's slowly but surely falling apart with each passing day, but he's fun to be around, and the name of this uncle is DC Comics. Now DC these days feels like they're constantly trying to catch up to Marvel, and they're just constantly falling and falling again and again. And I mean, outside of the new Suicide Squad movie, all their movies were just a fucking disaster, to put it lightly. I mean, Zack Snyder did try with his dark and grim PG-13 universe, but we all know how that turned out. And don't get me even started on the fucking Justice League and that one movie that we dare not to speak about here. But you know what DC has? They have some pretty good animated TV shows. As a kid I loved the original Teen Titans and Batman the Animated Series. For my dumb kid brain they were perfect source of entertainment for the whole day. And don't get me wrong, Marvel's What If was pretty good, but sometimes I want something more than just What If Avengers but zombies. You get me? Yeah, and that perfectly brings us to the subject of this video. Namely, a few days ago I just finished watching Arcane, that one movie with The Rock, Ryan Reynolds and Wonder Woman, and I had a big school assignment to study for, and as every sane person in this situation will do, I grabbed my phone and started scrolling through TikTok videos. When in that mindless scrolling I stumbled upon a clip from a Harley Quinn animated show. And I thought to myself, yeah, this could be an interesting watch. I pop an episode or two, then it's all study, baby. And yeah, long story short, I found myself 9 hours later, I was already 20 episodes in, it was 4 in the morning, school was starting at 7, so there was no point in sleeping at this time, so I might as well finish the bloody thing. Yeah, I finished it, I went to school, I failed the shit out of that assignment, and now I'm just left with the sleep deprivation, an F on the assignment, and a never stopping thoughts on the premise of the fucking show. I don't know if it's just me or whatever, but every time I watch a show I have some interest in, the next week or so after finishing the show, I just have non-stop thoughts about the fucking premise of the show, what happened, why the fuck did that happen, how the fuck did it finish, why the fuck did it finish the way it did, and you know, it can't be just me, right? And I thought to myself, since I'm already stuck like this for the next week or so, might as well use it for something. So I created this YouTube channel, and since the show is due to get a 3rd season, hopefully somewhat in my lifetime, let's talk about it. Now spoilers, if you haven't watched the show yet, go watch it, it's available on HBO Max, or you know, you can just do what I did and watch it 100% legally. I'm sure you can find a way to do that. Go watch it, it's a fun watch, you can binge it like I did, although that is not recommended. Or, you know, if you just can't be bothered with it, let me summarize what this show is about. Oh yeah, and it's rated as an adult action comedy, so, you know, it's pretty gory from time to time, so be warned. The show follows our main character Harley Quinn as she breaks up with the Joker after realizing that he is a psycho-megalomaniac who cares only about Batman, I guess, and now she has to find herself in this world where supervillains are like celebrities. They are rarely held accountable for their actions, and they're just allowed to do whatever they want in their spare time. They have their own club, they have their own parties, they can just walk in public freely, normally, and the crimes they do are just considered a normal everyday thing in Gotham. Now when you know the world this shit is happening in, let's delve into the main story. The first season focuses on Harley wanting to prove herself that she is more than just a Lady Joker and that she can be a great supervillain on her own. And the way to prove this is to get in the Legion of Doom. She assembles a crew consisting of Clayface, Dr. Psycho, King Shark, some old dude, and with the help of her friend Poison Ivy, she is ready to take over Gotham City. After some interesting adventures with the crew, Harley gets noticed and invited to the Legion of Doom. But guess what? It was all a trap to separate Harley from her crew and friend. And Ivy gets captured by the fucking Scarecrow for some experimentation or whatsoever. Now Harley, unhappy with her newfound success in the supervillain market and cause she lost her only friend, goes to her family to seek love. But guess what? They try to fucking murder her for the bounty on her head. And now with this other heartbreak, Harley is left just broken and sad. When in all that sadness and crying, she gets picked up by a fucking talking plant and a stone head, and she finds out that Ivy is in a fucking mortal danger and she needs to go and save her immediately. She goes and saves her, reuniting with her crew along the way, but not before Ivy is used to create some gas thingy that turns trees into fucking, I don't know, monsters. Wow. And now Harley and her crew must go and destroy the Legion of Doom for what they have done. They go on their way when a fucking tower with the Joker's face just pops out of the ground, destroying the Legion's hideout and half the city along with it. Now it's just Harley's crew against the Joker and the three monster thingies. This shall be an epic showdown. And yeah, Ivy gets immediately harpooned through the fucking heart and dies. The rest of the crew is either pretty harmed or hiding. And yeah, Batman get captured by the Joker and the Justice League are stuck in some fucking fairy tale book. The more you know. And now finally in the end is just Harley against the Joker. They fight for a bit, I guess, and finally the Joker wants to drop Harley in the acid that made her what she is today, unjokerifying her in the process. And as she is about to fall in the acid, fucking Ivy comes from the dead and saves her. I mean, yeah, who could have predicted that? Then they throw the Joker into the acid, and in the process his fucking tower falls over and destroys the whole city of Gotham. With the Gotham now destroyed and cut from the rest of the US, the Joker dead and the Batman presumed dead, Gotham is free for taking for whomever has the balls to do it. And yeah, that's the end of season 1. Now season 2 picks right after where season 1 left, with the city in ruins and no longer the part of the US, a group of supervillains consisting of the Penguin, the Riddler, Mr. Freeze, Two-Face and Bane seizes control over the city, calling themselves the Injustice League. And after trying to confront them, Harley gets turned into a fucking popsicle by Mr. Freeze for about 3 months. After her awakening, she kills the Penguin, turns the Riddler into a fucking lab rat, she saves Mr. Freeze's wife, killing him in the process, and then gets thrown in a big fucking pit in the ground by Two-Face and Bane. Oh yeah, and I skipped over the episode where they steal some shit from the museum with Catwoman and the one where Batman wakes up from the coma and becomes Iron Man. Oh yeah, and Batgirl is there, I guess. Oh, and also there is a flashback episode where they show how Harley and Ivy met for the first time. And then after a successful escape from the pit, Harley and Ivy just... Yeah, and if you wonder what happened to Two-Face, he got defeated by this fucking sorry ass depressed excuse for Jim Gordon. Yeah, now confused Harley running away from her feelings because Ivy is about to be married to the fucking kite man. Yeah, there is such a thing as a kite man. He's just a man with a fucking kite that he uses to fly. And that's not even the dumbest fucking thing. There is also a fucking condiment man. And get this, he's the fucking nemesis to the kite man. I mean, this show can't get any better, yeah. And now confused Harley, running away from her feelings, goes to fucking dark side to get an army of parademons to fight Gordon's police army in order to, I don't know, take over the city or something. And after a fucking massacre, just as she is about to win, Harley realizes that she doesn't want to control the city. She gives out the fight, and now angry Dr. Psycho from Harley's decision, yeah, I forgot that the guy's in the fucking show too. Now bear with me here, believe me, he's going to be important later in like 2 episodes. And now with all that out of the way, Harley throws a bachelorette party for Ivy on the fucking land of Themyscira, the place Wonder Woman is from, and they manage to save the island from being sold to Lex Luthor and turned into a resort or something, and yeah, they fuck. Twice. After the happenings on the island, Harley finally confesses her love to Ivy, and she gets rejected with the words, "I trust you with my life, but I can never trust you with my heart."
The truth is, I trust you with my life, but I don't trust you with my heart.
Now the heartbroken Harley goes to the party where she meets, get this, the same fucking version of Joker. The Joker is now a bartender who has a fucking girlfriend and 2 fucking kids in the suburbs. Like, I don't know, why am I not surprised? A fucking peak comedy. And after the party goes wrong, someone tries to, I don't know, rob them. Harley tries to escape, and now Dr. Psycho teamed up with the Riddler. I told you he's going to show up, I told you he was going to be important, and he took control over the parademons that were just left there after the whole battle, I don't know why, and he also took control over the rest of the squad except the old dude and of course Harley. Now Harley has to go and turn back the Joker into the Psycho megalomaniac so he can help her free the Justice League from the fucking fairy tale book in order to defeat Psycho. And guess what? They're fucking useless. They get fucked up on some sex pheromones and Harley is left to fight Ivy, who is under Psycho's control on her own. Oh yeah, and Darkseid is there to get someone's head, I guess. Harley frees Ivy from the mind control with the true love's kiss and the power of boners. Just trust me on that one. They defeat him, but not before he shows the whole city the truth behind Harley and Ivy's relationship. Harley realizes that she doesn't want to be a supervillain. Darkseid says he will be back for some revenge, to take something blah 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 some other time, and we go off to the final episode. In the final episode, Ivy is finally getting married to the fucking Kite Man, and Harley, still heartbroken and confused, goes to Arkham to be alone and think about everything. While in there, she finds out from Two-Face that Jim Gordon is planning to crash Ivy's wedding and arrest all the guests. Harley breaks out of Arkham and goes to save Ivy's wedding, and once she arrives, she manages to fuck things up, and Ivy tells her to go away. And while Harley is going away totally broken, she sees that Gordon has put everyone to sleep with some sleeping gas. Then she goes in, blasts the fucking roof with the fucking RPG, saving her friend, but creating the total mayhem with the police. The fucking Kite Man finally realizes what Ivy truly wants, and he tells her that she will be much more happier if she stopped running from her fucking feelings. And as a last scene, we see Harley and Ivy sharing a kiss while running from the police, driving in the direction of the sunset. And then we see the end written on the screen. The perfect ending to the season and presumably the whole show. Ooh, that was a wild ride now. And what are my final thoughts on this show? This show is a good watch. It may not be for you, but if you love this type of comedy, you will certainly find some enjoyment in it. This show won't challenge you too much. I mean, it may make you think about some things like self-discovery, toxic relationships, and the true meaning of true feelings, but this is not made to be that type of show. In my opinion, and I'm not a fucking critic, this is made to be a funny M-rated piece, just to help you relax, turn off your brain with some gruesy dark humor, and for that I think it's nice. It certainly won't win any Emmys soon, but you know what, I liked it, and you might like it too, so you know, give it a try maybe. But again, this show on the start seemed to me just like another gruesome adult comedy about women empowerment with some underlying messaging about toxic relationships and how we should stop with them, I don't know. And the show itself actually pokes fun at this. But in the end, it had a pretty sweet story about self-discovery, not running away from your feelings, and it made me think about a sexual intercourse between an introverted plant lady and a crazy psychiatrist turned clown lady, and what creative ways they can find for set intercourse. And the gay relationship between Harley and Ivy didn't seem forced, it seemed quite natural. I mean, in today's Me Too movement era and all that fuzz, fucking Hollywood seems to have, I don't know, a fucking urge to come to us with this forced fucking I don't know, diversity shits. I mean, I have nothing against gay relationship. Yeah, and there I proceeded to go on a 10-minute tantrum about gay relationships and about how I have nothing against them. I find lesbian relationships like this actually pretty intriguing, but I hate fucking gay relationships like man on man. And I don't know, can two men love the same way as two women can love each other? I don't fucking know. I hate them because I'm a man, but yes, I said I have nothing against them. I may be a fucking hypocrite right now, but you know, what can I do? Fucking sue me. Yeah, but as I said, go fuck whoever you want. I don't give a shit as long as you're not bothering me, actually. Yeah, and I was a bit off track again there. And I love this interpretation of Poison Ivy. I mean, it's nice to move from the seduction symbol to this introverted but loving friend to our anti-hero that gets to love people more along the way. And as I said, there is a season 3 coming, and they say they are going to focus more on Ivy's character to tell stories through her eyes, through her perspective, and I hope they do the character and the whole show justice in the 3rd season. And Harley is just Harley. What can I say about Harley? You really can't go wrong with Harley. It's just that type of character. Harley was voiced by Kylie, this woman here, and she did a really fantastic job of bringing this character to life. I love Margot Robbie as the live action Harley Quinn, but this one is perfect for this show. Ivy was played by, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Yeah, it's Lake Bell. I'm just so fucking retarded sometimes. She was apparently in the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, and she did really, fantastic job. The chemistry was really nice, but the best fucking voice performance was for King Shark. He was voiced by Ron Funches. I hope I said that right. That was such a perfect interpretation of the fucking big shark. Man, cheers, grits to you. I don't know English. And there was a nice interesting cast of supporting characters, like the Justice League, the Batman, Batgirl, the Robin was there at some point, Catwoman, Freeze's wife I guess, and probably many more that I'm forgetting at this time, but yeah. And in the end, this was a nice show. Just what, I'm not a fucking critic, I'm just your average Joe from down the road, and I did binge this show for like 15 hours straight, so I probably missed a bunch of important things that I'm sure someone will be willing to tear me apart about. But you know what? Fuck you. I'm willing to fight. I'm willing to defend myself. Come at me, bro. But this is all I've got for today. I hope to see you when hopefully the next season comes out so I can binge that one too. And maybe then we will do, I don't know, a detailed analysis of the whole show if fucking DC doesn't sue me over this one. Till then, be happy, go watch the show and drink lots of water. Cheers, mates!